Straight now into the first round, which is the singing sprint. In this round, a member of one team sings a song as fast as he can, and then a member of the opposing team must try and beat his time. And I shall be timing them with a stopwatch here, and I'm going to be extremely strict with the musical rendition, the intonation, and so on. Right, we're going to start now with Graeme Garden and Tim Brooke-Taylor. Tim, will you start, please, singing those magnificent men in their flying machine?
Go on, Tim. Go on, Tim. Those magnificent men in the flying machines, they go up, diddly up, and they go down, diddly down. They enchant all the ladies and steal those scenes with their diddly up and their down, diddly down, up, down, turning around, losing the loop and flying the ground. They're all frightfully keen, those magnificent men in their flying machines.
Tim Brooke-Taylor with a fantastic 11.5 seconds. Graeme Garden, can you beat that?
Personal best. Those magnificent men in the flying machines, they go up, up, they go down, down, they enchant all the ladies and steal the scenes, they're up, up, and they're down, down, up, down, flying around, looping, defying the ground. They're all frightfully keen, those magnificent men in the flying machines.
Yes, all done for 10.5, beaten by 1 second, Tim, so that gives you 3 marks. And we come over now to Barry and Bill, and we'll start with Bill Oddie, and your song, the two of you, is the hippopotamus song.
Which hippopotamus song? Oh, this hippopotamus song. Up old hippopotamus song. Hippopotamus people, they light the evening star, and where the hilltops are coming, the hairs climb up on the main, the hippopotamus knows the reminiscence like the sweetest made. My glory. Like the coolie, coming on the dental hollow nevers, what on girl is mud. No. Hey! Oh.
Has he done it?
Nice one.
14.5 seconds. So that's your target, Barry Cryer.
Mud, glorious mud, nothing about it but glorious mud. Swallow me, follow, down to the hole, and then let's swallow glorious mud. All together, mud, but glorious mud.
That puts Graeme and Barry slightly ahead as we go on to the point in the programme where I tell you that we have come to the round called Garble, and in this round I'm going to give each team a situation to improvise, but the improvisation must be in garble with no recognisable words. And I'm going to hand over to the audience to judge this one. I shall award marks at the end according to the length and volume of your applause. And don't forget that if you recognise any recognisable words, I shall be very surprised. We're going to start with Graeme and Barry, and your situation is this: a Welsh nanny being invited to a German police ball.
Ich fiete doch Kinder, doch Rieder, breitet die Hunde, doch recht, doch Hunde, flürig, schön, doch Arde.
Oh, boy, wat ik wel leren. Oh, wat is er nog komen nog?
Dat kan te zijn, de Hunde. Oh, dat weet je zo. Papa.
Papa.
Gaat het?
Jij hoor, boy, en dan gaan we gewoon.
Well, I think Barry did very well. Barry did very well to avoid any German words, but there were 1 or 2 Welsh words in Graeme's there. So
1 or 2 German words.
Anyway, I'm taking note of your applause now. Tim and Bill, your turn. And your situation is a young Liverpudlian offering a lick of his ice cream to a neighbour at an Italian football match.
What? Want some, why you calling you, Oddie? Tell me what you mean, because you know, you tell us, you know, big boom, bad. That's myself, tomorrow. Toss Matty Montes, come on, pick me up. Oh, you're a beep, I like it now. And it's a boom, boom, I like. No. Oh, loony, are you?
Just let me check that applause, because there's very little in it. And while we're checking the applause, we go on to the next round, called tag wrestling. In this round, I'm going to give each team the payoff of a story. Then members of each team will have to devise a story to fit their particular punchline. I shall then start one of you off working towards your punchline, and then I shall press the buzzer, and a member from the opposing team will have to take over the story, but work towards his punchline. I'm going to give you, Tim and Bill, your punchline. Ready?
Yep.
And Gerald has kept penguins ever since the mayor was beheaded. Okay, Graeme and Barry, ready for yours? What do you mean, fruitcake? Said Cicely. A short back and sides is what the young master always has. Tim and Bill have had longer time to think out the opening of their story. We'll start with them, and we'll start with you, Tim Brooke-Taylor.
Once upon a time, there was a man called Gerald, the well-known penguin keeper. Gerald found that the best way to keep penguins in Attercliffe was to get the permission of the local council.
His passion for penguins was only surpassed by his passion for fruitcake, which he always used to eat outside the penguin's cage. This was a family thing, hereditary in a way, because his sister Cicely also loved fruitcake. And in between preening and combing and generally looking after the penguins, they used to eat fruitcake. Now,
Yeah, this is not absolutely relevant to the main story, which does, of course, concern Gerald and his friend, the mayor. The story takes place in the time of the Spanish Inquisition, when it was a habit to, not that Spanish Inquisition, no. Not advertising, oh no. When it was a habit to behead criminals and traitors against the state. And it was, in fact, proved that the mayor had, in fact, done some very naughty things in his time. And so he was brought up before the court. The judge of the court at the time was one Gerald. Not one Gerald, it was...
One Gerald. Not, in fact, the Gerald of the story. But another Gerald who'd been called in as a replacement. The time of the Spanish Inquisition was also known for the terrible plague which hit Antarctica and killed off all the penguins. The good people of the town cheered themselves up by eating fruitcake, and Cicely,
A young girl in her teens sadly died in her early... I mention Cicely because her best friend, Gerald, and boyfriend, used to keep penguins in Spain at the time of the Spanish Inquisition. Now, there is an old custom there that every Friday morning people come into court and have to justify this. This will interest you, Humphrey.
Cicely had, in fact, died, and everybody had been so besotted and loved her so much that they all hired a medium and went to a séance, hoping they could speak to Cicely again.
And there, the lady who was holding the séance said, "Cicely, appear to us." It was a pretty rotten medium, and instead appeared the mayor.
who said, "Hello, fruitcake."
Which, as we know, is the African name for a penguin. However, Gerald was not to know this. And he said to the mayor, he said, "Look, if I can prove," this is the bit I was telling you about earlier, Hump, that you weren't interested in, so I'll make it a bit different this time. Every Friday, people of the town had to come in and justify why they kept these birds, ducks, ostriches, emus, things like that. Now, one day, Gerald came in, and the mayor was in trouble. I'll tell you why he was in trouble some other day.
So they were, in fact, all sitting at the séance, and the mayor, as Tim quite rightly said, did appear. But the strangest things happened in spiritualist circles. The mayor was dressed as Cicely. Good heavens, everybody cried.
Good heavens, they cried. Good heavens, they cried. This is a pretty rotten séance, let's have another go. And so they had another go. And amazingly enough, they conjured up the mayor, the actual mayor, who was, of course, beheaded.
"Call me fruitcake," said the mayor. I hear a voice. I think it's Cicely. Nobody else heard anything, except somebody who thought that it was something to do with Cicely talking about a barber's shop.
But they were wrong. It was, in fact, Gerald talking to the mayor, and because the mayor was so nice to him, even though he had been beheaded, Gerald has kept penguins ever since the mayor was beheaded.
Yes, Tim and Bill get the 2 points there. And we come on to the round, which is called Blues. This round is the one in which I'm going to ask the members of each team to improvise a blues, taking alternate lines and accompanied, of course, by Dave Lee at the piano. Now, Tim and Bill, will you give Barry and Graeme their topic for their blues?
The topless blues.
Topless.
Topless blues. Topless blues. Baby. Sing me about the topless blues.
When you're ready, Barry.
I'll get a job tomorrow, Mom.
Draw the line.
Woke up this morning, yeah, man, and I was thrilled to bits.
You hurry up, you're getting finished before they stop laughing. They need never hear the rest.
Oh, I'm very sorry about that, baby.
That'll be a good follow-up to that. 'Cause I heard about this fantastic new attraction they've just hired down at the bar in the Ritz.
They've got a topless barmaid.
Man, you should see her shake her martinis.
Yeah! And it fits!
Now, we helped you. Gave you a nice, easy subject.
Thank you.
What do we get back?
Very easy one, this.
Barry
Yes.
and Graeme, your
For
subject.
Tim and Bill, it's the hair transplant blues.
And that's the last time we help you. All right. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I got this one on an old Folkways record. I remember this.
Just got to feel a bit after
Yeah,
you
man.
You know, man.
Shall I play? Yeah! Oh, this is going to surprise you, pal. Well, I woke up this morning. Found my head was all bare. Ah, the dog had fallen in love with my toupee. Don't blame him, though. Attractive toupee, but I don't care. I just put a rabbit on my head. You want to know why? Yeah. I bet you already do. Because at a distance it will look like a little hair. Oh, yeah.
Graeme and Barry get top marks for filth, and Tim and Bill, on the other hand, the element of surprise was slightly greater.
Yeah.
Graeme and Barry 16, and Tim and Bill 15. And now we have the round called Sound Charades. One team has to guess the title of a book, play, or whatnot from the noises made by the members of the opposing team. And the audience can help here, but they never do, but they can, by applauding when the teams are getting warmer, and by hissing when the teams are getting whatever the opposite is. Right, Tim and Bill, is this a play or a film or what?
We've heard it's a play.
Play. And while the audience here is being shown the title on a board, the mystery voice will be telling you, listening at home, what their title is.
And it's The Mousetrap. The Mousetrap.
Right, how many sections?
Well, there are two words, and the first word begins with T, ends in E, and has an H in the middle. The second word we're going to do in two halves, 2 halves. First half first. Shall we do that?
Yes, you do the first.
Yeah. That's the first half. Second half coming up now.
Right, Graeme and Barry.
The China slap. No.
Warmish.
Tokyo chop. No.
The Japanese hit. Hit.
Probably has been a hit in Japan, yes?
Yeah.
Been a hit everywhere else.
So I was going to say the well-known Japanese hit.
I'll stick to your
Take-
Chinese.
Chinese. Pekin Tom.
Well-known character in
Give him a bit more, give him a bit more.
Character in what?
in China, as you were mentioning. Well, very, very well-known character nowadays in China.
Give him a bit of Mao.
Bob Hope.
The mouse trap.
Terrific.
The
Brilliant.
mouse slap.
I don't know how you do it. And Graeme and Barry, it's your turn to do one.
know. Oh,
Audience
yes.
is being shown here. Meanwhile, Mr. Voice, please tell the people at home.
It's W.C. Fields.
You got it?
Dirty one.
It's not as good.
Must be.
Right.
Always is.
A film, a play, a book.
A famous film star.
Famous film star, right.
Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum.
Hello there, very old beauty. I see you modernize it in your farm there. Didn't ya? Oh, yes. You tell me why is you putting a lavatory in the corner of every one of your meadows?
Are the silly voices just for a cheap laugh? Are they part of it? Are they a clue of some sort?
No, not really.
Archangel Gabriel or something? You come into it.
Clint Walker.
Clint Walker.
Close.
Close, warm.
So that I can...
Your Meadows.
Meadow Lou.
Lou John. John. Lou Meadow.
Oh, no, that's close.
Lou Fields.
Nearly there.
W.C.
Right, at the end of that round, Graeme and Barry have 21, Tim and Bill have 24.
Yep.
And we go on to the ad lib poem. Members of each team are going to make up a poem. Each team member must keep going until I press the buzzer, and then a member of the opposing team must take over. This goes on until we reach a fairly obvious conclusion. We'll start with Graham Garden now. And yours is a Welsh poem. Mark well the omen, gentle sire, the ravens on the wing.
Mark well the omen, gentle sire, the ravens on the wing, and listen to this little song that now to thee I sing. And you may notice, as I speak, my accent has changed back.
Back. And back I say to you, my friend, I'll sing this song, alack. I smash my douche man neichlem do, and jabat hoos nan die, and barsen doch and dach and da, and boffen.
I'm in a funny mood today. I often talk like that, you know. When my speech becomes slurred, I talk what I imagine is Welsh and no one understands a word. My father was a bard, you know, a druid, yes, as well. And up and down the valleys we went. My God, oh, sorry.
My God. Oh, blimey. Oh, well. My father was a bard, I said, and yes, that is quite true. And here's another funny thing that I will tell to you. Well, funny, that's what I say 'tis, but then others say it ain't. But then again, you...
You cannot tell. The truth is, I drink paint. When I come home after a day's work, I sit down feeling knackered. And there is nothing I like more than a nice tin of lacquered. I've changed my accent once again, you notice, that is true. There's a little thing around the corner, and it's coloured blue. It's coloured blue because it is a thing that's seen at night. It sometimes leaps up in the air and gives a nasty...
Oh, I don't think that's right. I referred to a pot of paint, you know. This story I won't diminish. People say I'll die if I drink paint, but I'll have a lovely finish.
That brings the score to 28 apiece, and we reach the most exciting part of the programme, which is the late arrivals. This is the point where I ask the teams to give their announcements for the arrivals at the policeman's ball.
First to arrive, and likely to regret it, Mr. and Mrs. Cuffs and their daughter Anne Cuffs.
Also arriving is Mr. and Mrs. Cake and their policeman son, PC Cake. And his truncheon Judy.
Rapidly followed by Mr. and Mrs. Squad and their daughter Vice Squad. Not to mention, appropriately enough, Mr. and Mrs. Smumsball and their daughter Policeman's Ball.
Sergeant and Mrs. Bodily-Harm and their detective constable son, all the way from Cyprus, Grievous Bodily-Harm.
And Mr. and Mrs. Oh. And their son, Al Oh.
Followed closely by a close friend of theirs, Mr. W.S. This Then, who is, of course, what? Saul This Then.
And Mr. and Mrs. Ning Hall and their daughter Eve Ning Hall.
Followed by Mr. and Mrs. De Copper and their naughty son, who is a disgrace to the force, he being Bent Copper.
From Cardiff, will you welcome Detective Superintendent and Mrs. Ulnine and their son, Di Ulnine. Nine.
Rapidly followed by Mr. and Mrs. Routine Inquiry and their son, Chester Routine Inquiry.
And also, in the legal business, Mr. and Mrs. Sitor and their son, Solly Sitor.
Mr. and Mrs. Pentonville and their worm, Wood Scrubs.
And while we're in the nick, and he can come in too, come to think of it, Mr. and Mrs. Mum Security Block. And their son, Maximum Security Block.
Welcome from Africa.
It is. Isn't it not?
Superintendent and Mrs. Olliwally Umbuckle and their daughter, Black Mariah.
I must add...
Together with her panda, car.
Mr. and Mrs. Rit Service, and from India their son, the Sikh Rit Service.
Mr. and Mrs. Substances. With their daughter who gets about a bit, who's known as Cert Ann Substances.
All the way from Moscow, Inspector and Mrs. Igor Warrant and their son, Serge Warrant.
At this point,
Which may lead us to Mr. and Mrs. Estratescourt and their daughter Madge Estratescourt.
Which brings us now to the point in the programme where Tim and Bill have had a runaway victory on that round. They're taking them right up to 43 marks and leaving Graeme and Barry trailing at 35. But our computer has come up with the results of that earlier round, and that really makes the score look entirely different. We'll see you next week.